As we know, cancer is a disease that has struck many families and has even claimed many of our loved ones. No step towards its treatment, awareness, and prevention can ever go waste. SBOH, that is Sudeshna Beacon of Hope, has been able to initiate a number of projects towards the cause of cancer prevention and awareness, thanks to all your support and encouragement. While our work may well be but a drop in the vast ocean, we believe that there will be a ripple effect. We welcome on stage Mr. Samiran Das, Fellow at Union for International Cancer Alumnus of American Cancer Society University and the Director of SBOH. We also welcome the motivational force behind the endeavor and the CEO of Sudeshna Beacon of Hope, Suvasish Ghosh.
Thank you very much, and welcome again. And we have a lot of music, some of Sudeshna's favorite songs and artists that will be performed by people that were personally impacted by her life. But before we get into the music, we also wanted to cover some of the initiatives that we have taken up, and also some of the initiatives that we are planning for the future. Bear with us, we just have to skip the slides one after the other, so I don't have a remote here. It all started, of course, a few months before, early 2016, and then in July we had the first concert with Sudeshna Beacon of Hope on July 17th, and the donations from that concert to Saroj Gupta Cancer Center and Research Institute we know would make a difference to the young pediatric patients that are being treated there. And we have continued our partnership with Saroj Gupta Cancer Center. On Sudeshna's birthday, December 15th, we made another donation, and also some toys and activity books for the children, and seeing that laughter, so smile on that little child's face makes it all worth it. And this Mahalaya, we organized or sponsored a different program, again by Kolkata Youth Orchestra, which you will hear again today, and also by an organization called Krishti, music and drama performed at the Saroj Gupta Cancer Center and Research Institute. One of the other major initiatives that we have taken place, started, and you're going to hear more about it, is the tobacco cessation workshop, where we go into schools and educate them about the dangers of tobacco and encourage them to, in case they're addicted, to give up smoking. These are some of the initiatives that we have taken, started with. We know that this is a small drop in the ocean, like Tina said, but we know that it will have a ripple effect. I now want to, hand it over to my uncle-in-law, Mr. Samiran Das, who really, I am up there in the States and not really been able to do much field work, but Mr. Das has really been the one who has worked the hardest in putting all the projects in motion. And he's going to talk about what are the things we're working on. Over to Mr. Das.
Good evening. Suvasish has told you all about what we have done till today, but we have got some future programs. Next slide. So I have got some experience in community-based cancer control program because I am in this field since last 20 years. So our idea is, along with the tobacco cessation program, which will continue to be there, we'll go for field clinics where we'll combine primary health care and screening of breast and cervical cancer, awareness and all these things. And if we know that if this can be detected at the fast stage, the patients can be, live like a normal life. But problem is, we have got a lot of social impediments. There are people, they don't want to come out with all these things, their information and all these things. So we have to counsel them. Here, I was showing a lady, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer grade 2. So she was she was advised by the doctors to go for a treatment, small treatment in Chittaranjan Cancer Hospital, but she didn't, and she refused. Then I had to catch hold of this nun, the sister. They are mostly from Sundarban area. They are Muslims and Christians and Hindus, all, religions together. We have the patients and all. So she was rather made to understand that this is nothing to be afraid of, and ultimately she got cured. So here, the consent for screening is a very important thing, because most of the time we find that sometimes the patients, they say that, okay, I'll come for the screening, or I'll go. But the male folks, the male members of the family, they never allow them to. And involvement of primary health support, why it is required? If we go for some sort of screening or to go for early detection of breast and cervical cancer, most of the time we have come across some questions from the ladies that you have come to save me. What about my kid? What about my father-in-law? What about my husband? They don't get any primary health care. So our idea is, as we did earlier, I'm not Sudeshna Beacon of Hope, my other organization, will combine together primary health care and screening for ladies, breast and cervical screening together. And this is a very successful, I think, way of getting these things diagnosed. I have my friend here, Shutaba Bishas, who is the founder director of Cancer Foundation of India. She is a master in this tobacco cessation area. She has done it for the whole of Howrah district. She has made almost tobacco free. But it is not that the tobaccos are not being sold. And secondly, she now also runs this sort of clinics. So we have worked together, and I hope to work together, Shutaba, because we have to have work together for the benefit of these pure people. They are very unfortunate. Next. And tobacco, already Suvasish has said, our focused population is the school children who are from class 8 to 12. So that is the most, vulnerable period for the kids to take up this smoking or using those oral tobacco. So we have to make them understand. For that, we have got a questionnaire. You might have seen that was in the foyer. And we go through that sort of, some sort of practice that we give them the question papers. They write what they know about tobacco and its ill effect. Then we show them some slides, which is rather making them aware about its ill effect. So we have already done this program with one of the school, the Future Foundation in Ranikuti, and within 31st of March, we'll be covering another 2 schools, maybe Jodhpur Boys and Vijayagor School. So that is where we are now. And this is where we were together once again. And my heartfelt thanks and sincere thanks to Dr. Arnab Gupta and Mr. Ranjan Gupta to extend their helping hand to Sudeshna Beacon of Hope to fight cancer. Thank you. Well, let me introduce Dr. Arnab Gupta, who is the director of Saroj Gupta Cancer Center and Research Institute. He is, one way, our mentor also.
Good evening, everybody. At the very outset, I would like to thank Sudeshna Beacon Foundation for selecting our hospital, Saroj Gupta Cancer Center and Research Institute, as a partner to serve the mankind, the cancer afflicted patients, and even working for prevention of cancer. Just a few words about cancer, because I'm a surgical oncologist, and it's my responsibility to share with you. In a beautiful evening like this, where you are having wonderful music, I just want to alert you as well that cancer is increasing. The World Health Organization is predicting that in next 10 years, every 4th person is going to have cancer. So you can understand how scary it is. Every morning when I wake up, I always pray to God, if somebody has to have cancer in the family, let it be me. but he's not under my control, but as a doctor, as a human being, what we can do, we can join hands together, like with Sudeshna Beacon Foundation, and let people be aware that not to be scared about cancer, because it's quite, if you catch cancer at an early stage, you can actually conquer cancer, and I've got quite a few examples. One of them is sitting right in front. I'm sure he'll be introduced to you. Sunny Machua, he's another success story. We have several patients who come in advanced stage and get, in early stage and get cured. So just very quickly, in stage 1, 90% of them would get cured. I'll just tell you, in diabetes, hypertension, kidney failure, nobody really gets cured. They have to be on prolonged medicine. But in cancer, people can get cured, but they have to be treated early. They have to be detected early. So it's very important that we spread the cancer awareness program in different parts of India. Secondly, there are many ways we can prevent cancer. You'll be surprised, although we don't know the causes of cancer in many cases, 50% of cancer, we know the causes, and that's mostly because of tobacco. And I'm sure in this hall, we'll have plenty of people who are actually still using tobacco. The women might be thinking that we don't smoke, so it's not about us. But even the women, they're chewing tobacco, and in the young ladies, I've seen people actually smoking. So it's very important that from now on, we don't actually use tobacco at all. If we can stop tobacco today, 50% of cancer incidence will come down immediately. So it's very important. There are many other things, and I think we should be having a separate cancer awareness program. In 30 minutes, we can talk about many things which will actually, prevent us from having cancer, or even if somebody is affected with cancer, we can actually cure them if we can detect them early. So it's no point being scared about this. Let's face it. Let's be brave about that. Just a few words about the hospital, and then about Sudeshna Beacon Foundation, and then I will introduce Sunny Machua to you. I think you probably have heard about my late father, Dr. Saroj Gupta. In 1973, he used to see the plight of patients Dr. Saroj Gupta, when he was working in Chittaranjan Cancer Hospital, at that point of time, there were only 3-4 cancer hospitals all over India. And he used to see, he was quite an emotional person. He used to see a lot of people lying on the street, not getting a seat in the hospital because the facilities were very, very limited. And he saw them, many of them dying on the street. They used to come with advanced disease anyway. When we talk about early detection and early cure, early treatment, he used to see a lot of people dying on the streets. So that touched him badly. So he started talking about setting up a little home away from home where the people could be given some shelter. And that's how he approaching a lot of people. One of his patients actually came forward and said, okay, I've got a piece of land. And incidentally, his son actually came today to our hospital in the annual general meeting. And his family said, we got a piece of land in Thakurpukur. It's totally marshy, 6 acres of land, but you have a promise to fulfill. Within 1 year, you have to do something, otherwise you'll have to give the land back. So he was just in the middle of early career. And what he did, he wrote a drama where he acted as a cancer patient. And that drama was staged in Rabindra Saudhara in 1973. And I'll just quote his dialogue there. It was about a cancer patient who came from a village with a little child and his wife. And he was telling the doctor, asking the doctor, Dr. Babu, okay, bachan. And Dr. Babu, like everybody else who was quite busy, said, Bollam to bed nei, keno birokto korcho? And then he said, Ki bollen Dr. Babu? Bed nei? এত বড় শহর, এত বড় বড় হাসপাতাল, আর আমার ছোট্ট দেহটুকু রাখার একটুও জায়গা নেই ডাক্তারবাবু যে বাঁচতে চাই. So that was his appeal, and it touched the hearts of many people sitting in the hall, and they all contributed 50 rupees, 100 rupees, whatever they could. And with that starting money, what he did, he set up a little shelter for, it was mostly 25-bedded dormitory, but that was the beginning, humble beginning. And you'll be pleased to know that with your support, even the school children, they save their pocket money to support this cause. And we have 310-bedded hospital with all the modern facilities for cancer diagnosis and treatment. And 50% of these services are reserved for underprivileged people. I'll not talk too much about the hospital, but about the pediatric care, I'll just tell you that many of the children, without their any fault, they get cancer. 5% of all cancers affect the children. But the good thing is, God has been kind in a way that 90% will get cured if they get a proper treatment. So Dr. Gupta always used to believe that they have to have a little home away from home, a little Disneyland kind of atmosphere where they can be given shelter. My elder brother happens to be an architect who was settled in the US, in Chicago, and Mother Teresa actually wrote to him that, you must come back and help him designing a Disneyland kind of atmosphere for the children. So he came back. He was supposed to be here in my place, but he could not because he had certain commitments to fulfill today. So the Disneyland kind of ambience has been set up. If you have visited the hospital, there's a toy train which goes around the hospital. and 90% of them would be staying free of cost. We provide them free medicine through the support of certain NGOs, and you'll be pleased to know many of them would get cured. So that's something we always do for the sake of the mankind, and we are glad that Sudeshna Beacon Foundation, Sudeshna's family and extended family are all here to support this wonderful cause. And I'm sure if we walk together, we'll actually conquer this disease. It's quite emotional to see Sudeshna's family every time I come here, but I'm sure, wherever she is, you'll be happy to see so many of you are actually supporting this wonderful cause. She'll be living amongst the patients who are actually going to get cured. So that's a wonderful gesture. And before I finish off, I will ask Sunny Machua to come onto the stage. Is that okay? Oh, okay, Sunny, can you come over here? একটু ছোট করে বলে দিই, a big round of applause for him. ও যখন এসেছিল, that was in 2014, he had advanced lymphoma, which is cancer of the glands, and he was in a very bad shape, having high fever, respiratory problem, and he didn't have enough money, so we got him admitted. We started his treatment. He had a biopsy, and gradually he was improving on chemotherapy, and 3 years down the line, you can see him standing right before you, and he is doing wonderfully well. And if you see his paintings there, he could not even draw when he came to the hospital, but with the support of music therapist and art therapist, he's becoming a mature painter. And I'm sure with this support, he's going to be a mature artist, an eminent artist in India, and he'll be grateful to Sudeshna Beacon Foundation.
Well, on behalf of Sudeshna Beacon of Hope, we are just donating a small amount of rupees 50,000 to start with, but we have already committed that we'll be with Sunny Machua so long he wants our support, and that will be through Saroj Gupta Cancer Center and Research Institute, and they'll monitor everything. So here's a check, sir, from our side. For Sunny Machua's future treatment and whatsoever you feel like. And I'm sure in near future we'll be again donating something for him. Thank you very much. You are welcome.
And I forgot to mention, last year, you'll be pleased to know that they have handed over a check of 3 lakhs of rupees. And with that, many children actually got their financial support for their treatment. So many of them are very grateful to this foundation. Thank you very much. And before I finish off with all the awful words that I said in this wonderful evening, I will sing 2 lines of a Hindi song which is about a joy of life.
चलती रहे जिंदगी, तुम भी चलो हम भी चले, चलती रहे जिंदगी, ना ज़मी मंजिल ना आसमां, जिंदगी है जिंदगी, तुम भी चलो हम भी चले, चलती रहे जिंदगी। पीछे देखना कभी मुड़ के बाहों में हो, झूमे मेरा दिल तुम्हें लेके बाहों में हो, धड़कनों की जुबान नित गए दास्तां, प्यार की झिलमिल छाँव में पलती रहे जिंदगी, तुम भी चलो हम भी चले, चलती रहे जिंदगी।
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shumona, and I am a friend of Sudeshna's. I hope everybody is having a good time. We've gathered here for a great cause. My friendship with Sudeshna spans across many years, different countries and different time zones. And I don't want to talk too much, but all I want to say is this beautiful woman taught me all along the power of positivity and hope. Sudeshna never gave up hope, and all I can tell about her is that cancer did not overcome her. She overcame cancer because she remained positive till the last day of her life. Anna, what do you have to say about this?
নমস্কার, আমি সুমনা, সুদেশনা, আমরা সবাই একই সময়ে টাটা কনসালটেন্সিতে কাজ শুরু করেছিলাম। So we bonded there, and that is like years back in the early years of the 90s. At that time, the information technology world was very young. Our Tata Consultancy Kolkata was an organization of only around 70 people. So we had a lot of fun, not at workplace, but after that, in the weekends, and we did programs where there was music and drama, and I remember at least 2 wonderful evenings where we all created a lot of, music and fun. So that was Sudeshna, a very beautiful, lovely person, ever joyous, ever vivacious, and very talented. She sang well, she danced well, she was good in theater, and of course, education and work. But that is what Sudeshna was all about. And later, as thanks to social media, we always remained connected. And when we were, further down the years, cancer is a disease where you have to be a fighter. And Sudeshna faced that challenge really well. And at that time, even in my family, we were fighting similar challenges. And through social media, we were both abroad that time, but separated by many miles. But we remained connected. And she was a wealth of positivity. And, she was painting, she was giving leadership talks, and she always gave courage. In very big moments of crisis, I remember she used social media and asked everyone to stand up when I was facing crisis, to pray. And that is something I learned from Sudeshna, praying collectively. And that is something we all need to do, because all of us are fighting our battles, and our prayers together will give us strength. This is one thing, collective for the common good, which I have praying for common good. This is something I've learned from Sudeshna, and I do it all the time. So today, this evening, as we remember her, and we enjoy the lovely music and the program, let us all take this word out to the larger world, that cancer does not mean death. Life means death. All of us will die one day. But having cancer does not mean that death is imminent and we need to fight and be positive. So now we'll have a wonderful presentation of music by Kolkata Youth Orchestra, led by Sanjay Mondal. Enjoy. Thank you.